Hello, it is Saturday. Although today this show is pre-recorded, we are live in the chat, but this is the pre-recording. I'm pretty excited about episode number 83. I have Chris from Flexin and Finessin with us, and we have quite a bit of things to talk about. Trying to get you guys to get to know another side of Chris, from the opposite side of the podcast seat and get a little bit more personal because he's kind of like an introvert, so we're gonna pull a little bit more out of him today. And I'm really super excited to hear about his new reticulated python pickup and the future for the podcast and what that's going to look like, as much as he can tell us, because it's still a secret right now. But I'm super excited. Definitely share with Chris, one of the podcast that I definitely love to watch. I'm definitely super excited that he's going to be continuing and that he's going to be laying out the foundation for what the podcast started to be. Super excited for that. Just want to remind everybody that we will be vending at the Gettysburg show. Bear with me. I think I have it. Yep, I have it here. And that's going to be November 11th. Over 125 plus vendors in Gettysburg. And for those who are in the DMV area, although it says PA, it's actually quicker to get to this part of PA than it is for us to get to Oaks, Hamburgs, and that side. So if you can come out, join us. And we are certainly looking forward to seeing you guys there. But without any further delay, just to remind everybody here, make sure that you are using and you are Better Off Red, going, showing, repping, Redline Shipping, using them for all of your shipping needs. Make sure that you actually use the code Robin60 for at least 2 shipments. So let's go, Better Off Red. All right, so to no further ado, we're going to bring on Chris. Hey, Chris, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Welcome to Reptiles and Cocktails. Because it is a weekday, y'all, I don't have an actual cocktail, but I am drinking my water. But this goes perfectly with my guest that we're going to talk about. Some healthy stuff today, actually. So let's start off with Chris. How are you feeling? How's everything going?
I'm feeling all right now because I woke up sick. So yesterday or the day before. So feeling a lot better now. I'm actually gonna try to get in the gym today. So after this podcast, I'm gonna try to hit the gym afterwards. Other than that, I feel refreshed. I feel great.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you were definitely able to make this podcast. I'm glad that we could work it out to get this done in a pre-recorded state. I will say we have a lot to talk about. I do want to start off with let's start with the purchase. Let's start with some good stuff. Your recent purchases. You added some new animals, not the reticulated pythons, but a couple other things, right?
Yeah, Lucy. Western rat snake, the blue eye, and then the normal sunfire head albino G stripe, the head albino het G stripe, reticulated python. Yeah, it's not G stripe.
And
Let me get that right.
The rat snake from?
I got that steak from T5 Boas. T5 Boas.
Oh, that's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, he actually got, I think it was the mom or the dad from Gary Hartle. So
okay, I was just actually chatting with him the other day. And then we got the retake from.
The retake was from T5 Boas. The rat snake was from Dave Levinstein.
Oh, okay. Well, you picked up some really pretty cool people.
Yeah.
So how is the rat snake? That's the one thing. Is it more like a corn snake in personality?
The rat snake, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it does do everything characteristics
Okay.
are the same as corn snake, kind of. The rat snake's eyes, this one has like his eyes look like goofy, kind of.
Okay.
So I don't
It
know
does it
why.
or something else? Because some colubrids eat other stuff.
No, they eat mice. Yeah,
Okay.
mice, rats,
Okay.
pinkies. So yeah, he don't. That's all he'll eat, and then he'll eat frozen and live. So I'm going back and forth with that. But right now he's in shed and stuck shed too. I gotta soak him.
Okay. Now, is it an animal that requires a lot of humidity? Because like the corn snake don't need really anything, pretty much.
Yeah, the red snakes, no, not so much either. Not too much, I don't think. Like maybe, I want to say maybe about like 35-40%.
Got you. All right, so let's get a little bit because, like we said, I want to talk a little bit about who is Chris. Chris, first of all, you're located where?
In San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Texas. I had Chris living all the way in California somewhere.
Really?
Have you always lived in San Antonio?
Yeah. I've been out to Pittsburgh. I've been out to Pennsylvania. I had to go visit some family out there, and was out. We went out there for a wedding actually, so that was nice. I've never been out anywhere other than Texas, and then when I got there, I didn't want to leave. I definitely didn't want to leave Pennsylvania.
What time of the year was it that you came?
Oh man, it was cooler. It was so cool.
Okay. So
So
probably
it
time of
was
year was it cold?
had to been like around October, I want to say.
Hmm.
Like,
That makes sense because you coming from Texas and saying that you didn't want to leave Pittsburgh normally in the winter is cold.
oh
When the
yes.
water is ice. The sea is ice.
So where we stayed is where I was at was like the gym was literally like 15 minutes a walk. But
Okay.
as you walked, it was so cool. Like it was like a little strip. It was nice. I didn't want to leave. I felt good. I could breathe better. Y'all have all these trees out there. Here we have nothing but the city.
All these
So
trees. So that's so funny. So Texas, so I guess San Antonio is more desert like.
it's kind of dry. Yes, I
Okay.
would say San Antonio is kind of dry. We do
Okay. How
have
do
some
you do?
rivers and some lakes, but it's still kind of dry.
Okay. How did you do during the summers there?
I hate the summer here. I'm always inside. I don't want to be outside. The only time I go outside is if I'm going to the gym. If I have to get in my car, drive to the gym. That's the only
Yeah, because
time.
I mean, it's been hot here. Like 95, 98 here is hot. Your temperatures will be like 117 for a whole month straight. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Absolutely insane. So let's talk about the gym. So we know that you're really, really big on health and fitness. Now, were you out of shape at some point in your life and did that
Hmm.
make you fanatical? I was getting ready to say, because I find that people who, I mean, when I say out of, like, I mean, we've all been out of shape. I'm talking about, but I find when people like a Bosa is so disciplined because of where he came from. And I find when people come from that to this, it's so much easier for them to continue that lifestyle.
It is.
Talk about that a little bit because a lot of people need to hear it. First of all
Well,
these
my
people.
story started because I had a crush on this girl in middle school, and I was just a really fat kid. I was super fat.
Mhm.
I was overweight, and the girl was a senior. I was a freshman, and she's like, "No, I don't want to date you because you're fat." And that really like crushed me. Yeah, like crushed my like heart and everything.
Did you
And then
stay in contact with her?
no,
I was getting ready to say, you
no,
should
I
see what her
didn't.
husband look like now.
Right? Actually, I've seen some pictures and not good looking. He's kind of overweight now too. My cousin, because it was my cousin's best friend. She's like, yeah, she married some fat guy. I was like, wow,
Kava.
right?
So wow.
So
So then, at what age did you make the transition?
I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
I came back the next year. I weighed 115 pounds. Yeah, I
Well,
was
see,
at.
what's your motivation in 10th grade to do it?
Yeah, I've
Now,
I
did you
from
see
10th
her?
grade till now, my weight's fluctuated. I've gone all the way up to like 265 pounds. Right now, I sit at 224, 225 pounds.
Yeah, but see, 224, 225, if it's the muscle, don't look the same. If it's
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Yes, it
I
doesn't. I have
said
pictures. Yeah.
period. I tell people, look at a video of me or a picture of me before I had my surgery for my hysterectomy, and look at me now. So all that's hormonal. You go straight into what they call stamina. I haven't gained any weight, but I lost a lot of muscle tone, and I have to work so much harder to get it back, like to keep it up. And like and even what I eat, you have to eat like almost totally different from how you ate before.
hmm and that's the bad thing about like for you guys, like as women, y'all have to work harder to get that muscle. We really don't.
Yeah, I know, because my husband, we go on vacation. This should be so funny. Now, I work out, okay? We would go on vacation, and somebody would make a comment about how he looked like he work out all the time. He never work out. He eat candy bars in the middle of the night, chips. He wake up literally, eat chips. And then we go on vacation, he'll do 50 push-ups, and he look like he worked out all year long.
Wow. Oh, so that's called the pump. That's just the pump. So he got that pump on him.
Like, he can do 50 push-ups, and this arm look like just. And then people be like, "You work out all the time." I'm like, no, I get so offended. I work out all the time.
So that's called the pump. Yeah, I do that. Like I can do that. I do like 10 push-ups and I'm good. Like I can get a good pump. Uh, but I'm gonna give you the backstory of
Yeah.
like after what happened. Like I started working out through sophomore year. So I got some muscle. I joined the football team, became what is it called? The athletic people. What are they called? The groups?
Athletic director.
No, something else. They're called groups. So like they break them off, like either a band geek or is it a football jock? That's what I became.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
So I became a
And
jock.
you know what? When I think of Doc, I think of a band, like a kind of like a horrible personality too. But you're right, it's Doc.
Yeah. So I became a jock, and then right after that I joined the gang, and then I had my daughter, and then I had to get out of the gang. Yeah. And I was bad. So the way I grew up, I was like a rebel. So my life was pretty bad all the way up to until like I was 22, 23. And then my life turned around. I became a cop.
Yeah, is that what you do?
No, not right now.
Okay, so
I left that. I left
I like
it.
sit down and getting to know people. So
So
you became a police officer
in 2013,
in San Antonio.
a Bear County sheriff officer.
Let's talk about it. Like how do you like that? Like how was that adjustment?
I loved it. I loved working for Bear County because my job was I was on the CERT team, so I would go into cells and extract people from their cell. So they didn't want to come out. We made them come out. We were gonna go in there one way or another and get them out. So that was my job. I love my job, but it took a turn when they tried to make me rewrite my reports and try to throw or take people off my report. You know what I mean?
So stuff like that really happens in the department.
Yes, it does.
So you hear about stuff like that, and I mean, I'm sure it happens everywhere. But I'm just saying, like, when you get to experience in any job, when you get to experience where people want you to waver your integrity, that's an issue. Like for me, at a very young age, I was a vice president of operations of a company, and the owner one day made me terminate a girl. And so funny, we're going back to weight because she was fat, and her name was Teresa Burgess. Teresa, if you're watching this, you'll remember this. Her name was Teresa Burgess, and he hated the fact that she would eat like lunch at her desk. We all did, you know what I'm saying? But she, liked to have her food. And so one day out of the blue, he was like, fire her. I said, okay. He said, fire her. I said, okay. When I fired her, I told her I had no idea why I was firing her. I was ordered to fire her by the owner of the company, but I promised her that I gave that day my 1 year notice. And he never thought I was serious because I got paid a lot of money, Chris, a lot of money at that young age. And he never, ever, ever thought that I was serious. And that's how I went from finance management to property management. So I left that and then I started all over again in property management, took a major pay cut and worked my way back up. Within a year, I was in a management role again. But what I wasn't going to do is support someone because you like people who are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. And like I said, even when I terminated her, if Teresa is watching it, she would tell you, I told her, yeah, I have no reason why I'm firing you. I was told to fire you. And this is why you're being fired. And I said, but I promise you, I will not be working with this company. I said, I will be giving my year's notice. And no one believed it. Even the day that my last day, people were still looking at me like she was dead good. I meant that.
I'm just like, that sucks not knowing now what you got fired for, because I hate that too. I've gotten fired for nothing.
She knows. You know what I'm saying? She knows now, but at the time that I was turning,
yeah, you couldn't say it.
You know, I couldn't say it. You know, but I can tell you that she kind of like knew that he just didn't like her. You know, for whatever reason, she ain't never did anything. She was a great employee, one of my favorites. But then she went off to live her dream. She went to start her own daycare. Her husband was a truck driver and he financially supported her in reconstructing a part of their house to build the daycare. And she went off to do what she wanted to do at some point in life anyway. So it worked out for both of us. But the fact that people still are working in environments where people make them compromise their integrity for a paycheck instead. And I'm glad that I had the foundation of a father and a mother who would never allow that.
It's kind of sucks because, like, you think about it, right? You want kids to go up to cops, but at the same time, when you're working as a cop, you see everything that's going on. You're like, damn, we actually really come up to these people.
Yeah.
You know?
And then like well, in Baltimore anyway, I don't know if you heard of the story where the undercover cop ended up getting shot and killed. And now everyone thinks that he was killed so he couldn't testify against the illegal cops that were, you know, doing the crimes and stuff like that. And as hard as it was to believe when his wife started to allude that she thought there was some type of internal situation going on, when you start to hear years later down the line, other people tell you stories of real things that happened, and some of those things tie into that situation. It's very telling. You know, we see it all the time. Like, we can't sit here and act like, but what I like to remind people is that because I come from a family who are correctional officers, like we have police officers in our family, there are people who are really, really good and chose to do this line of work and deserve to make it back home. So I don't want to twist that. I don't want to say that all police officers are bad or, you know, most, because that's not the truth. Yeah. In fact, in my experience, especially in being a property manager in a predominantly Black county, I experienced the opposite. I experienced where officers risk their lives trying to not take somebody else's child life, to the point where I'm thinking, you would have to shoot him. Like, it was the first time, Chris, that I saw someone high on drugs, right? This is when Molly's and stuff first started being used. And this was around 2013. I had just moved down this way. And I'd never seen a person shot and not fall. And I realized how powerful drugs can be, that even though you're getting shot multiple times with a 9mm, you're not falling. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he lived until the drugs left the system. Like, so he was able to live, but when they had to wean him off, that's when he died.
Because of the adrenaline rush. That's why. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know, shout out to all police officers. Like I say, it's, you know, it's a job. And I know, like, when you used to wake up, you didn't want to have those situations where you got to force somebody to do anything.
Mm-mm. But it's just when they refuse to do something, we have to do it or make them do it in the jail. Back then, so when I came on in the jail, we didn't have body cameras on. So You
Right.
know, there was a lot of stuff that I can't speak about
Oh, again,
happened.
Freddie
Yeah.
Gray. Yeah, Freddie Gray is the reason why body cameras became federally mandated.
So, yeah, a lot of stuff went down behind, like inside the jail. Like you would never think that you would never think or heard of outside of jail.
Right.
Like that really went down inside. Yeah, that really happened.
So how long did you do that job?
I did it for a good 12, 10 years. I was
Oh,
a correction
wow.
officer. I started a correction officer, and then I went to Bear County, and I had to do 2 years as a correction officer. Then I became a third officer, and then I went to adult probation, and then I went back to correction, and then I left.
Wow. So you spent a lot of time dealing with other people's traumas, discipline, and because you're so laid back. Like it doesn't like I can't see you getting so angry or riled up or forceful to,
I,
make somebody to do anything. So were you that officer who was more like, come on, man? Or was you
yeah,
like, come on, man?
no, I was the officer. Like it was funny because I would walk into the door to the units, and they'd be like, clapping for my like saying my name like Escamilla, like just clapping, because they would say I speak for the people, and like
Okay.
I speak for them, and as soon as they saw me come in, no lie, they would just drop to the ground, and I was able to handcuff them. They'd be like, "Oh, it's Escamilla, drop, just drop." So it was something like that, you
Now
know,
you also speak Spanish too.
a little bit,
A little
not fluently, but
No, wait a
I
minute. So you're one of those. Shame on you. I
yeah.
always make sure I would never understand, especially when I have friends who both their parents speak Spanish. Like they speak almost no English, and the child doesn't speak.
Yep, my mom and dad speak fluent English. I mean Spanish, and I've never picked it up. But oh, that was another job I did. So
If
Border
I pick it
Patrol.
up, if I pick it up, we understand. Your parents pick it up. You are a child. Because I ask my girlfriend all the time. They are talking but Albano, and you're still saying bathroom? Like knowing they saying like I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I'd be like restroom.
Oh my god.
That's how I would say it. I was on the restroom, and they'd be like, "Baño over there." Be like, "I don't know what
I
you're
just
saying."
never comprehended. Like, I mean, and I have like literally friends who speak no Spanish, but their parents speak nothing but I'm like, I don't even know how you grew up in. So one girlfriend told me that especially when your parents come to the United States later, right? So her parents were, older adults, and they came over here when probably she was like 8, 9 years old, but they had other children here. So she was more like the mother in a way, even though she was only 8, 9 years old. So when those sisters started going to school and stuff like that, she taught them how to speak taught them to listen to their parents and speak both languages, but she herself never learned both languages.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely insane. She's the only one out. I have several friends who are not bilingual, but they grew up in a household, and in some cases, like where none of the siblings, all of the siblings speak English, but I just never understood how the parents could communicate. I don't understand how that communication works.
So even like going to my grandma's house, my mom and dad would just sit there and have a conversation in Spanish, and we'd be
Did
like,
you
"Can we
not
go
understand
outside?"
what they said? So when
Huh?
they would say things, you would correct them to give them the English version, and that's
Yeah,
how
I'd be like, "Can you tell me in English? What was that? Huh?" That's how I would do.
no.
Yeah, huh?
Is it just that you don't feel like? Because like for me, I'm actually bilingual, believe it or not. But when I had stopped working, my mind, so I had to turn my mind off from the Spanish. But when I worked, I had to always hear both English and Spanish. But now it's like it's so hard for me. If someone starts talking to me in Spanish, I can understand everything they're saying. I just don't feel like translating my response back. I just want to say it in English.
Yeah.
Where before it was natural to respond in Spanish.
I don't. So I knew enough to get me by. So when I got a job at the Border Patrol, because I did Border Patrol, I worked
And
with
then
kids.
speaking Spanish, I can't.
Yeah, because they spoke Honduras, Guatemala, uh, like different kind of Spanish out there. There's a lot.
Yeah,
And
because it's even with my friends. If you say, I think it's conyo. If you say el conyo to one friend, it means fuck you or fuck. But if you say el conyo to the other friend, it means a hanger. One is Puerto Rican and one is El Salvadorian or something like that. And I'm like,
yeah, Dominican Republic's everything out there. Yep. And I
so
worked with the kids, so I never worked with the adults in the Border Patrol. So the kids would always try to teach me Spanish, like, "Hey, this is this," and
Latina.
yeah,
And you say no, sure you go.
or they say provecho, provecho.
Okay.
Like every time I would get my tray, they'd be like provecho, and I'm like, "What are you saying, son?" No,
So you did border patrol, and then so you gave up law enforcement, and then what did you decide to do after that? Did you decide to do something polar opposite, or did
yeah,
you
this the reptiles.
okay?
Me, I well, my dad was like, "Well, what are you gonna do next?" Before he passed away, and I was like, "I think I'm gonna, make my own brand. I'm gonna go with the reptiles," and that's exactly what happened. I
So
branded
where
out
does
first.
the creative mind come from? Because it's not from law enforcement. Like you are probably the most creative with reels, design, even with your podcast, like not one of the intros are the same. I'm not that creative. Y'all get the same intro, one for reptiles and cocktails, and one for two pieces of podcast. But like, where does that creative mind and art sense come from?
Well, honestly, as I get on my phone, I'll just start messing around with pictures. I'll take the background off, and then I'll start changing the colors, and I'll just
Shout
start.
out to Ray who just taught me how to do that.
Yeah, I was like, I just start playing it, and then I'll find the music that goes with the reel, and then just do that. Just keep going and going. That's how I do it.
Like you have stuff floating in, stuff flashing by. I have gotten so much better, but like yours is like a whole production,
Yeah, try to.
all just from doing regular reels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep getting better and better. I'm gonna keep getting better.
I mean, I tried to. That's exactly how I wanted it to be. Like when I put something out, I wanted it to be like a little short movie, you know?
And that's exactly what it's like. It's like dun, 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 boom, like it's like a whole.
Like I don't want to put anything out, and everybody's like, "What? What is this?" And I've had that happen, so that's why I had to change it up a little bit because people are like, "I don't know what you're trying to promote here," you know? So I've gotten a little better, I could say. So now it's starting to make the reels a little clearer because I was just loud with them. They would say loud,
Okay.
like because my personality, I'm loud. Like I like flashy colors, like the neon colors. I mean, I have to match when I go to the gym. I know.
I try very much not to match.
Yeah,
I look the worst I possibly can. Cause see, it's different for men. Y'all can go to the gym and work out. I will say that in my gym for the most part, if you go in the morning or you go late in the evening, you can as well. But in between, if you in there matching and all that kind of stuff, there's a whole lot of other attention. And when men don't realize when women go to the gym, we're just like men. We are there to work out. We're not there for the extra attention. We're not there to have idle conversations. That's why most of us keep headphones on and music.
I wear headphones all the time. I don't like nobody talking to me. People try to be like, "Hey, what?"
Focus.
For real, they'll stop me. They'll be like, "Hey, what are you taking? Like, what are you on?" I'm like, chicken."
Yeah.
I don't take anything. Honestly, I haven't taken anything yet. I'm about to get into steroids. I'm actually going to take it for the first time because I feel like I've plateaued and I've tried everything. So I may jump into steroids and see how that goes.
Now, if you did that, how would you go through that process? Because isn't that a little scary?
Uh,
Or would you go
first
through like
I'm
a
going to be
whole
run.
doctor.
Yeah,
Or
well, I
yeah,
already did all of that. So yeah, I already did the doctor. Yeah, I
yeah.
already did all of that. So the first process is take testosterone, and then after the testosterone, take whatever I'm gonna take after that, because testosterone is gonna build my libido and that drive. It's gonna bring everything up. And then the steroid, the one I want to take, is just gonna burn the fat. So I just want to be leaner. You know.
So it's bioidentical, and that's literally they take your blood, run your blood work, and then determine what is it that your body needs and what it doesn't, and what's the best internal plan. Because that's the other thing I say all the time. Like the difference for me is what I eat. It's not like I can work out the same regimen, but it's very important for me what I eat, and it was never like that before. Before I could eat not whatever I want, because I never was a person who like eat subs. And stuff. Like I just never was that person. But I could eat a lot and still work out and lose weight, stay toned, whatever. But after the surgery, it's like it has to be a perfect balance of less calorie intake and the burning of the muscle, not even fat. Cardio is not what I need now. It's more muscle burn that my body requires.
So what it got you doing? Did it have you doing like more reps, less weight?
Yeah. So what my doctor did, my plan is literally to like I almost never eat meat. Like I had fish, but it's like meat is like it's a prize for me now. Where before I needed meat in my old body to build muscle. So they cut me back on that. I didn't want to take any hormones because we have the breast cancer. And when you start taking testosterone for women, you also need a balanced estrogen. And I didn't want to feed that gene because we have the gene in our family. So for somebody else, they can probably do this and go back to how their body worked before with hormone replacement, but I'm not taking any. So I watch what I eat. I'm taking a lot of greens, a lot of like spinach, avocado, and stuff with natural estrogen in it, and a lot of stretching and a lot of weights and a lot of walking does better for me now. Like so, before I was a big cycling person. Like I could cycle for hours. That's too much for my body now. But if I walk for 4 miles, it's perfect for my body. It's just crazy. So pretty much it took us probably about a year to figure out what's going to work best for me. Now I'm in my zone where I'm able to balance it all if I stick to the regimen of making sure that I'm eating right. I had to cut back on my alcohol because I used to like going like me and my girlfriends 3 times a week. Let's go and drink. Drink. I can't do none of that no more. It's like occasional drinking.
It's crazy you say that, because I could drink a beer or two the night before, and then I'll wake up and I'll go to the gym, and beer, I don't know why it pumps me up. I'll be fine.
Probably because beer has a lot of wheat and barley. When I was pregnant with my first child, I had what they call hyperemesis, where I couldn't keep anything down, and the only thing that I would crave was beer. Because it will go down, make me bubble it up, and if I threw it up, it would come back out soft and bubbly. And the doctor told me my body was craving wheat and barley, and that's what they supplemented in my body was the wheat and barley. Because I had let it all out from the hyperemesis. So it's crazy, like how your body know what you need. And don't you think that's really the secret to when people say I can't lose, like you're talking about, you plateau, you put in all of this work, you plateau. Now you have to go to somebody and let them look internally from the inside out, blood work, to see what do I have to do next. It's a combination of working out and the proper diet for that individual.
So my that girl that I had on my other show, Jordan, she was like, let me work you out. And I was like,
she is.
Yeah, she's a monster.
Like, so some women can look like men. She still has
the feminine
woman physique. Like, but I'm telling you, when I started following her, it would take a whole lot to ever get there, but I would love to know what. I have to go watch that show. You gotta let me know what episode it was.
That was the third one. It's only the third one. We only did 3, and then he kind of fell off because he's like, dude, I feel like we need to do something else. So I have a co-host over there. That's Gargoyle Geckos.
Okay.
Dang it, I forgot his name.
What are you talking about though? I have to look it up.
Yeah, he was my co-host over there. So we're gonna try to do something different over there. So we've been talking about it on that one.
Okay, and that one is on YouTube.
Yeah, that one's on YouTube. Yes.
Okay, I have definitely got to go look at that one.
And
Episode 3, and what was the You said cold-blooded?
Yeah, cold-blooded games.
Cold-blooded games.
That was supposed to be my workout page, my whole fitness.
Okay.
You know, that was supposed to be my fitness page, like where I wanted fitness shirts. I was actually trying to get a fitness supplement. You know, something like with pre-workout. It was just to try to get in the door first, but you know, still working on that.
Yeah, keep working on it. That's pretty cool. I think that the dedication that you have when it comes to that, and I think a lot of people, you know, their inspiration may not have been the same, but it's the toughest thing that people experience is trying to find a balance between the two. What to eat for your body type. That's what I tell people. That's very important. Like when you see those videos and the guy be talking about, because if you have this body type, you have this body, like that stuff when you go to a bioidentical doctor is real.
And I've told people too, like my body type is different compared to yours. Like for me, I know what works for me. I don't know what works for you. I don't know like your body type. I don't know who you are. So I tell them, for me, I could eat everything right now and hit the gym hard, and I'll feel good after I leave. Like I'll go right now. I'm probably gonna go eat. So I'll eat like Popeye's chicken. It's not healthy, but it's chicken. And when I eat that, I right after the workout, I'm gonna look like, you know.
So your body probably is protein driven, where too much protein for somebody else can be too much on their, with the sugar. Like it's a combination. That's why I say there should be more bioidentical doctors. I was not introduced to bioidentical doctors until I had a surgery, and you starting to find out what plan you're going to go through for a hormone replacement, if you're going to do it, if you're not, and if not, there are bioidentical doctors out there. I never knew that. No one ever said, "Hey, I'm an OBGYN. I'm not the master of hormones. Let me send you to a bioidentical doctor." So, but it's a good experience, and I have a much understanding of my body at 50. Much better understanding, which. Water, y'all. When y'all ask me, water. This is what
a lot of water. Gallon.
From needing makeup, water.
But it's funny because so back then, like when I straight just was like fat, like I weighed 265. I'll send you a pic. I was bald, fat, no tattoos.
I can't even like even when Bosa sent me his picture, I'm like, it's no way this is the same person.
I have people be like, yeah, I wouldn't have talked to you then, but now, yes. Like that. Just be like that. I was like, damn, okay.
Like, no, talk to me now.
Right? Don't even talk to me then.
The inside was still the same.
And so, like, back then, like, I was trying everything, like pills, like everything, and my body would be fatigued, like super fatigued. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped. I just went dry, just stopped. And then I picked up, I started eating, like, because I noticed before, like, when I eat before workout, I felt great. So I started doing that. And then before football practice, I would eat something because I played arena football. So I was supposed to be on Keys' show. And I had tryouts for arena football. And I had to cancel on Keys that day because I had arena practice. Like, it was for arena team. So he's like, dude, you're all good. He's on next time. And right after you said that, that's when we started up Sexing and Flexin, because he was like, well, he showed me like his questions. One of the questions was like, would you ever start up your own podcast? And that's exactly what happened.
And let's go into that. So right now, this is where we are with the podcast, and so you do plan on continuing it.
I've definitely be coming back with all the motivation and the people that be reaching out. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I'm
Y'all,
excited.
y'all keep sending me those positive vibes, uplifting me, telling me to come back and do this. I didn't realize how many I touched, and doing the podcast, like doing me, just being me. I didn't know I could touch so many people. So I just want to say thank you, all of y'all guys, and I love y'all. And I'm coming back.
You too. And
Um,
I would tell you, like I was saying earlier, like when I first started coming into this whole IG and all of that, like you and Bolton was always like the two that was, I don't care, everybody was being recognized through your channels and being, boasted through your channels. And that's, that was that natural love that drew me to the podcast. And then, like I said, now, I told you, even when you and Levi was together, those earlier podcasts were all for me. And so it was one of my favorite shows to watch. So I'm glad that you're going to continue and take it back to what the foundation was. How soon do you think you'll, like, I know you're working on the new branding and everything. How long do you think it would be before you actually roll it all out?
well, hopefully next month.
Okay.
Hopefully this coming up month. I have a designer guy that's on payroll. Like I,
Excuse me.
I literally hit him up and I'd be like, hey, I need another logo. Just send me something. So he legit is on payroll. Like he's like, dude, you take care of me. So he's like, I got you. So that's how all my ideas come up. I'd be like, hey, I need this done. So like when he sent me the designs, well, this was done by Blue Tongue Republic. This design.
Okay.
He's one of the sponsors. But yeah, he did that one. But every time I tell him, hey, I need something different, he'll just be like, well, send me a logo or send me different logos. So like this one was for breast cancer for my mom, and then I found out you, I guess, had breast cancer.
My sister.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been on a whole. Well, we were as a family, which is crazy. We were always people who was involved in breast cancer awareness as a family. What we didn't know is that my youngest sister would be one to get breast cancer, and so going through that with her is where my extreme dedication to breast cancer comes from. So speaking of, next month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we go hard as a family. Like you'll see, we are constantly at breast cancer events, not just events where we're doing walks and stuff like that, but they're like in Maryland, they put on these magnificent events for survivors, and we get to go and get a table with my sister, and it's good to let other people who are going through the fight see that there are people who do make it and what their support systems look like. And my sister, she was diagnosed in 2015. So the fight never stops. You know that. It's 8 years later. They're constantly being tested, constantly feeling things and making sure that it hadn't came back and all that kind of stuff. So they always need that support.
Yeah, my mom too. She just did chemo and she was so tired, so drained. But apparently the chemo worked. So
yeah, if you have, so one of the things that I always say that my sister did, like methodically, and I think it's the difference in her being here or not. When she did the very first walk after she got diagnosed, we had did the walk that we was already scheduled to do, and a lady there told her drink plenty of water, like constantly drink water. And she told her, write down what you would normally eat. And every day, even when you don't have taste, you eat those same things. So my sister going through chemotherapy actually gained weight. Where most people will lose weight, she gained weight because she stuck to that regimen of, even though I can't taste it, I'm still going to eat. So this is what I would eat for breakfast. This is what I would normally eat for lunch. This is what I would normally eat for dinner. And she stuck to that and she drank water. Her biggest struggle came when she did the reconstructive surgery. That's when we almost lost her. After the surgery, she had an artery that ruptured and she collapsed right in front of my mom. My mom was taking care of her after her surgery.
Damn.
And she went to stand up, and my mother being a nurse knew something wasn't right, and my sister hit the floor, and my mother caught her, and she had to go back in. And so even today, she actually has how can I say? She has one breast that's actually like the new breast, and another one that is not. So it's crazy.
I get it because my grandma, well, she doesn't have them, but yeah, she had to get hers removed. So
Yeah. So yeah, so it's like, everybody goes through different things, but I think that whenever someone come off it, for them on the other side, as long as they're alive and they're able to at least continue some quality of life, is good.
yeah, but I still feel like, sometimes I wish I could done more. Like for my dad before he passed away, I had driven them to Corpus Christi to get those antibody shots because we couldn't get them here in Texas. That was the only place I had out there was Corpus, and I had a friend that she was helping me on where to go and what to do with my dad and my parents because my mom, my dad, and my daughter had COVID all at the same time. Well, my dad was like, I was like, look, I'm gonna take y'all to Corpus. I'll wear a mask. I'll drive y'all. So we drove out there, but when we got out there, they got the antibody shots. As we were coming back, my mom was like, can we stop at the beach? And my dad was like, yeah, let's do it. So my dad stayed at the steps, sitting there. He was sweating, like just sweating. And I remember we were picking up like little shells, rocks along the beach, walking in the water, me and my daughter and my mom. And then we look at my dad. My dad's like laying there, and we're like, we gotta go because dad's not feeling good. Like we gotta just get help. So we got home, and the next morning, that was the last time I saw him. The ambulance came, picked him up. I didn't get to hug my dad or talk to him. That was it.
And how old were you?
It was last year.
Oh God! Wow. See, that's, I don't know. It's hard. You losing a parent. Period.
Yeah.
Like I lost my dad in '92, but that's still pretty fresh.
And I was like, man, I kept telling myself I should have just took him to the hospital in Corpus. Maybe it would have saved him. And
well, I think we talked about this a little bit before on your show, or maybe it was in the chat. Like, I do kind of remember now because we was talking about I can tell you exactly when it was. You had Mike on your show, and we were in the chat, and Mike kept saying he was having these chest pains, and we all just kept saying, just go to the hospital, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. And I think you brought up that situation. Yeah, that's
and then for me, I've had 2 minor heart attacks. I had a minor stroke already. I'm only 38, but I just keep trucking.
Which is another reason why you gotta stay fit, right? Because sometimes those things tie into our overall health. That in family history, because like I said, that's why the cancer just. I always think I got cancer. My husband be like, "Girl, like, he's like, you gonna feel it." He's like, "It's nothing there. It's nothing there." But it's like when my sister went through it, she told the story. Like I took her diagnosis harder than she did. Like to the point, every day I was going to the bar. Like I couldn't sleep. I cried.
Yeah, I can't sleep.
I would call her crying. I'm calling the cancer patient. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like it was bad. And I think I just was traumatized by that whole experience. And just like, our dad died from a whole different kind of cancer. And his cancer was triggered by, he smoked cigarettes for years. He had stopped smoking 4 years before he was diagnosed. But he had cancer that came from carcinoma, that came from smoking cigarettes. So it wasn't like breast cancer wasn't a thing. So for my sister to get it, none of my other aunts and uncles died from it. I mean, they could have had it, but that's not what they died from. They died from something else. And she's the first to get it, and to find out we had this gene all along. Like it was a lot.
I was gonna say you're one of those where you Google something, you're like, oh, it says I have
hypochondriac. This is all the all-going joke for me. Where you know how people like my brother was shot. He was delivering pizzas and he was shot. He was shot like 3 times.
Damn.
And once, when the guy came back over him to look like he was going to shoot him in his head, my brother said the guy looked at him almost as if he made a mistake and pulled the gun back, but he was already shot 3 times at that particular point. So my brother was telling about what he experienced, what he could see, what he can hear, and listen. I was the first one on the set, so this is real. He knew what he saw. I had a hole in a pink nightgown. My brother was completely, when I got to the hospital, he was on a table. They had just cracked his chest open, and they was closing the things to do this first surgery on him. When they put him out, that's when I learned they don't close your chest right away. Okay, so we seen him. His chest is still wide open because when you have a type of trauma, they don't want to close you back up in case they have to go right back in.
Yeah.
So he was out. It's no way he should have remembered what I had on, what I did, or what I said. So I truly believe that he had some type of out-of-body experience. But we make the joke that if it was me, I had got shot in my hand one time, I would have died. Because it's a gunshot. It don't matter where it hit. I'm dead. Just the fact. That's why I always say, if I gotta draw my gun, you better believe I'm getting that first shot because I am terrified of certain traumas. When the dog, I had the dog attack. That's all I kept telling my husband. Don't let me die. Don't let me die. And he kept, he put everything. He's like, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. But I go straight to death. It's no in between.
You're like, I'm dead.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done for.
I don't understand how people don't go to the doctor because my doctor be like, look, I'm tired of you, lady. You don't have no breast cancer. You don't need another test. You can't even get them this close together. Like, but
I cut off my thumb here and I super glued it back on.
Oh hell. Yeah,
I've been shot and I have a hole in my leg right here. Oh, you can't see it. Right here. There it goes.
Nope.
Yeah, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, and I've been in a coma for 6 months in a car accident.
Good Jesus. That's why you so chill.
Yeah, I'm chill because
at this point.
I've learned through life, like, being mad at things you can't control doesn't do anything for you. It just makes you even madder. Like, why are you so mad?
And to survive so many things, why were you in a coma?
Car accident. I was asleep in the car. Yeah. And they hit me on the passenger side and just didn't wake up. And it's crazy though, because I still feel like I'm living that dream, I don't know.
Do you remember anything?
No, not really. I really don't.
And how long were you in a coma?
6 months.
6 months. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I just knew I was dreaming a lot.
Okay.
Like I just was I was always like a little kid just sitting there crying or something. I can't remember.
Wow. So it's crazy because like you were just talking about my brother who, he felt like he could see and hear things. You being in a coma for 6 months, which is a long time to be in a coma.
I mean, I could hear it was crazy. I could hear like my mom and dad talking to me, but just couldn't, respond.
But you never thought you were dead. No given time. You just felt like I'm sleeping.
I just felt like I was in a dream. I was stuck.
Y'all hear this? Like, this is what I say that we all think we go through things and that, they're traumatized and somebody has been through so much worse.
There's always somebody that's gone through worse.
Yeah, but like that, how many more worse can you get? Shot, stabbed, coma, stroke.
There's always somebody that's gone through worse.
Come on now. The hypochondriac in me would have been gone a long time ago. But it's definitely a testament to who you are. And when I talk about that, you just have this good chill vibe about you. Like even when you're frustrated or upset, like the tone is still very jovial, where if I'm upset, you're gonna know.
Yeah, definitely. I've had some differences and they definitely know, like, hey, I'm upset, I don't agree with this, or I don't want to do that, or I'm not gonna do it.
But it's a plot because you're like I was saying, but my husband is real chill. When he's angry, the positive part about people like y'all is that when you show it, you get an immediate response, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, like he mad.
That's funny you say that because when I bounce, everybody's like, "You're so chill," but then when you're like getting these people out, you turn into somebody like oh damn, like boom, let's get out of here. Yeah, because when I'm bouncing at the club, I'm like, "Hey, it's time to go. Pick up those beers. Let's go."
Right.
It's a different person.
So it's we've been way over an hour. I told you it's supposed to be. But I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
It's up to you. I'm down to keep going. I don't really got nothing to do but the gym. Oh, but I do want to show this. Check this out.
Yes.
It's a phone case.
I see the retag.
Yeah, right here it is. The retag. That's one of them, and then the other one's over here.
The guy did that. The designer guy did that.
Yeah, for the phone case. See, and it has a wallet too.
Pretty cool. So you just like took the brand to a whole nother level. So right now you do the reptiles. Do you work full time or part time?
I work full time. I'm an assistant manager at Shell Stop or like.
Oh, yeah,
what,
you said that.
It's a Fisher's Mark. It's called Fisher's Mark, but has our Shell logo on it still.
All right. So what made you go from law enforcement and say I want this is what I want to do
for the reptiles?
Yeah, you was just.
I was just like, I want to make a difference.
Okay.
I want to go into something and stick with it, and that's exactly what my dad said. If I'm going to start something, I better finish it.
And how long has it been since you've been doing the reptiles now?
And now, since I've been on Instagram since 2018.
Okay. And just run down, if you can, everything that you keep, because you did geckos too, right?
Yeah, I keep leopard geckos, crescent geckos, which I'm actually trying to get out of the geckos because geckos are way too much hassle. Yeah, oh, like too much hassle on the geckos. Yeah, too much. It's
now,
just constantly cleaning.
Too much hassle. Like, what's the biggest challenge with geckos?
It's just constantly cleaning them, like constantly cleaning the tails out.
And we constantly have to clean that one. So I can imagine having multiple. And the other thing about the gecko, the one, is that the feeding. Like, so she only will eat. She does not like mealworms or nothing else or roaches. She only wants crickets. So we constantly have to go get her crickets.
And they stink.
Yeah, I don't want to store a whole lot of them in here because they stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can get that. That's definitely
And the bearded dragons. I got bearded dragons, which I just lost my most expensive bearded dragon. She's a female, and she passed away because I guess they're saying that the night crawler, I guess, I didn't cut off the head properly, and it ate through the stomach lining, and she blew up. Like, it was just it blew my mind. It was crazy.
Aww.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not feeding them night crawlers. I'm more going back to crickets and keeping them on crickets.
I won't even eat worms. Like, she just only like crickets, and like she would almost like starve. I'm not eating that. I want the crickets, which is absolutely insane. But because our bearded dragons, when we had them, they would eat they would eat both. You know, they didn't really not eat anything. But she is bougie. She's like, no, that's not happening. It's crawling up.
Yeah, and I also got the ball pythons, the hog noses, the milk snakes, the sand boas, and then my king snake, my only king snake. As well, because in case I, if I have
what
a clutch.
What color is your king snake?
It's banded. He's banded.
Okay. Now, do you have to feed him other snakes? And if so, where do you get them from?
Not yet. I got him from PetSmart. I had to parasite him. I had to clean him out. But yeah, he's growing. He's getting pretty big. Okay.
And so, at a point, can you keep them on? Will they take rats at all, king snakes, or?
Yeah, they take rat pups. Yeah, that's what I'm feeding him right now because he's still too little. Yeah, he'll eat both. I'm pretty sure he would, but I haven't gave him or tried to feed him another snake yet. So.
So speaking of, so when we started the podcast, my husband was bringing in the feeders, so I have to feed the baby retic. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been really, really fun, as I knew it was. I am so looking forward to the new show. You definitely got to keep me posted. Make sure you tag me on the introduction. I'm going to look up right after I feed. I have to find. Just can you just make it easy for me, Chris?
I'll send it to you.
Episode, send it to me because I want to watch it. I admire her. Tell her I admire her. I mean, when I tell you, like, if there is a woman body that I admire, not jealous, admire, is her. And I think it's just that she's perfect. Like, it's not overly masculine. It's not, you know, and it's like she's so cut that even like her sexy is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she could wear the broad top and the shorts and not come off provocative because she is just so nice.
Yeah. She's swollen. Yeah.
I was like, I hope she, because I would love to know like what her, and she does do some videos, but like what her daily eating regimen is and stuff like that. She's badass.
Yeah, she does the whole post, like the post meals, and then her pre-workout, then the protein, and then she works out. Yeah, she does a lot.
She eats, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I think that that's important too. Like, it's just what the hell you eating.
I mean, but trying to get on a regimen like that is just hard because it's money on food. And I'm just like, well, that takes away from my reptile. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna stick to what I'm doing.
I might never see that body, but I'll be in shape.
And she'll tell me too. She's like, but you're not fat. Like, she's like, you're fine. You're perfect. Like, she always tells me you're not fat.
Yeah, I would be curious how much she wear. I bet she wear like 2 something.
Oh, like, she probably does. Yeah, no, she told me in the live. She says how much she wears.
I gotta go watch it. Right after we eat, because by the time after I feed the rest, and by the time I get upstairs, I went to my inbox because I have to go watch that. Definitely. It's so funny. I didn't even know that you interviewed her. When I think of you, I think you're the male of what I think of, you know, like consistency, and she is that
female.
Incredibly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she is.
And she still looks very much feminine, and that's what I like. Like, I love that about her.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her. Yeah, she's actually talked to me a lot. And ever since the podcast, we still talk. Like, cool. Be like, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Like, are you doing legs? Because people say I got chicken legs, and I do legs like crazy. So I don't know.
All right, so guys, there you go. That's a wrap. Look out for Chris' new show within a month or so. And as the new co-host, we can't tell you who it is. He will release that within a month or so. I'm super excited. I think this is definitely been a fun one for me. I hope for you guys who will be in the chat watching this on Saturday, it's a fun one for you. I want everybody to get a different part. I know I've learned a whole lot of things, because let me tell you what I didn't know, that Chris was ever law enforcement. I mean, you're so chill. Like, you don't give me the whole Officer Chris. Wow. So, know that. Lord goodness, I had no idea of the traumas and tragedies you have to go through. But it definitely is a testament to the person who I'm chatting with in my inbox a lot. The person that reaches out to everybody in the community and share that love. The person that is, stand firm on what you believe. I think that you definitely should, and you always give plenty of people, kudos and respect. And you're one of the people who do it on stage and off stage. So I definitely appreciate that. So
I appreciate that, Nicole. Thank you.
I
just learned going through all of that just learns to humble you. Like, you learn to be humble and take what you get in life. If whatever God gives you, this is what God gives you right now, that's it for right now.
That's why I always say I'm grateful for having humbling situations, but having humbling people who've been humbled in ways that, I've never been. And, I can tell you that normally my humblings came through other people, things going with my sister, my children, and stuff like that. The things that I've been challenged with personally, I consider it a blessing that I've had some experiences that were humbling, or, thank God I'm here, but definitely not where it's health within my body. There's more situations I put myself in, and I'm glad I survived. But when you have those things that happen, like, a stroke, a heart attack, those are things that's out of your control, totally. Once they start to occur, and you have to rely totally on the higher power to get through those. So.
Yep.
All right, Chris, we will talk to you later. Hang
All right.
out for a second so I can say a formal goodbye. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I am a big fan of Chris as a person in the hobby, and definitely looking forward to the new podcast. Just to remind everybody, for today, you're watching this is Saturday. So make sure that you're checking out. Hopefully you've hung out last night with us watching Hair Down, 8:30 p.m. on Friday. And then tonight you'll have Wiz and Joey D coming at you at 10:10 p.m. Central Time on his podcast. So definitely check that out. It's so sophisticated, sophisticated ignorance. Appreciate you all, and I will be seeing you soon. Peace.